Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So for today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the new Gothic palette from Cosmic Brushes. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this palette, then please stick around for today's video and make sure you are subscribed before leaving today. I cannot get over this packaging. It is so pretty. I want to show you some close-ups of this palette and we can go over some of the details. So the Gothic palette is a 12 color palette and this retails for, let's see, I paid $28 and then I used a discount code. Shipping was $12, so my total personally was $39 USD. This palette came super fast. There was no waiting. Like, it was so quick. I'm not even kidding. I was expecting to wait probably close to like 3 to 4 weeks and it showed up super fast. So I'm very happy about that. So as soon as the color story was revealed, honestly, I was going back and forth. Immediately, I was like, I'm buying it. I think it's so beautiful with the packaging. I was so obsessed with the packaging. But then I was like, take a minute. How often do I wear pink and purples? Not that often. So I kind of took a step back at launch. And then I'm trying to go forward and not impulse buy at launch. I just want to give it some time and see if a few weeks later, a few days, whatever, do I still want it? And yes, I saw one of my friends on Instagram. She posted lovely close-ups of this palette and it sold me. I bought it and no regrets. I can't wait to try it. Honestly, I wanted a palette that had a vampire-esque inspired color story, and to me that's exactly what I got, and that's ultimately the deciding factor as to why I bought this palette. So I just thought I would share this with you. So let's zoom in and create a look. So first I want to go in with the shade Lace. It's like a beautiful dusty rose shade. I just immediately wanted to dive into this one. Let me kind of pat out the creases. Oh, I mean, this shade I could literally put in my crease and it would be like a one and done. I'm really happy that they tied in this neutral. This was another kind of like deciding factor, I will say, for me, was this shade was kind of like a make it or break it for me. I need just one shade that I personally can feel comfortable going in and creating just like an everyday wearable look. And I think that's exactly like the shade for me. Lace. How pretty. What are some deciding factors when you buy a palette? I would love to know because we're all so different. If it doesn't have a neutral, like, game over. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this isn't neutral, but you know what I mean. Kind of, tiptoeing. I just love hearing what is a deal breaker or what literally makes the palette for you. And honestly, this is a beautiful palette for, Halloween time because of these purples and just like these lovely tones. But also, like, Valentine's Day. How cute would that be? Or even spring with the pinks and purples. So honestly, this could be a year-round palette. So I'm excited to, I don't know, just test out this palette. I do have the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. One of my favorite palettes in my entire collection. This is now going to be the second one I own from them. And I cannot be any more excited. I'm so pumped to have another one of their palettes because they're more affordable and the quality. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to go in with a Phantom, this super dark, deep plum, and I want to see what that shade's all about. Let me get a smaller brush. I just cleaned my brushes because they were all dirty and I'm not using dirty brushes anymore. When I say dirty, I just mean like a few uses, but that is so deep and sexy. Are you kidding me? Definitely get in the habit of cleaning your brushes. It is very important and you will get an eye infection to remind you. So I always have like a post-it note or piece of paper or something to kind of help me if I ever want to change the shape, because for me personally, I need that extra help, but that's kind of what I'm doing. And this shade Phantom is so pigmented and beautiful. I'm going to mix Phantom and Alter and just run that along my lower lash line as well. There's so many pretty shades, I don't even know what to use next. I think I want to go in with Immortal and put that, I kind of left the inner part alone so I could put this super poppin' pink, a little bubblegum pink moment. And then I'll have to decide which shimmer. It's so hard to pick. Okay, that pink is literally a dream. It makes me want to get their, like, the Delights, whatever it's called, their pastel palette they came out with. Because that pink right here, it's amazing. If you own the pastel palette that they launched this year, let me know the quality, like, just for real. Like, do you recommend it? I do have a few other pastel palettes, but this, nice. It's nice. Okay, I want to go in with the multi-chrome in the palette Chosen right here. There's so many, like just these two for every day I would go into these two. But it's so hard for me not to go into this one. But I want to go into this one and see the shift. It is beautiful. Let me swatch it. You know the drill. You know the drill. The person in me, like the collector, just wants to buy all their palettes and keep them because they're so pretty. That's a very light swatch, but yeah, you see it. Lovely. And I want to use that one all over the lid so we can see it in all of its glory. And I think I want to go in with another shimmer because I can't help myself. But, I mean, that's so pretty. So I want to use Nocturnal and put that kind of on the outer corner where the shimmer and the matte combine because I think that will mesh them perfectly together. I'm also trying to use as many shades as possible so I can test out the formula for y'all, but I mean, it feels just like the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. Okay, so part of me I want to use both of these shades. I'm trying to like, Brittany, stop. But Pale Moon, I just want to see. I'm going to put this right here just to make it a little bit of a brighter pop because I can't help myself. Yep, that is exactly what I wanted. Just a little bit of a lighter moment to catch the light. Now, Obscure. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that. I want to go in with this just a little bit right in here. So this one, it's a multi-chrome. It's like a white base, but it's got blue and purple sparkles in there. Let's just see. This is one where if you layer over these darker bases, that's where it's really going to shine. So I like how it's almost translucent, so it's just going to make the look wet, give it more of an ethereal look. And I'm just going to put it right here. Whenever I spray my shimmers, I try to find like the cheapest setting spray that I have. And I had my Peach and Lily out, and I'm like, I'm not about to waste that on spraying my shadows. Like, are you kidding me? Let me know, do you do the same thing, or could you just like care less? You're just like, whatever's in front of me, I'm using it. Well, this escalated quickly. Now I want to go in with the, what is it, Gothic, the black with pink sparkles. Use that to kind of line a little, and then I'm going to go in with my Give Me Glow White right here and just use that to brighten my brow bone, and then I'll be back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I really enjoy how it came out, so I added some mascara, which I actually have this Essence Lash Like a Boss waterproof. I don't like it. It flakes all over me. Not a fan, just side note. For my lippy, I use this one from Unearthly Cosmetics in the shade Angela. It's like my go-to whenever I want to add a little bit of purple to neutral lip to kind of make it a little bit vampy. Let's see, what else? I think that's everything. Oh, I added this Melt liner in my waterline. Other than that, yes, and then my Noctilucent palette, I went in for like a pretty sparkly, shifty highlighter. So now I want to turn down the brightness. Okay, so here's the look under low lighting. Definitely sparkly. There's that highlighter. Really do like that. So I'm going to zoom you out and give you some of my thoughts on this palette. Okay guys, so I want to first go over the packaging. I love the aesthetic. I love the inspiration behind this palette. Also like how it comes with this sleeve. You can just slip over your palette to protect it. I like how we get a mirror. I like how it folds all the way back. As far as the color story goes, will I be reaching for this like every single day? Probably not, but I do love the versatility. You could just use these two shades and get an everyday subtle look. You could wear it to wherever you're going, or you could get super dark, deep, vampy. You could just stay pinks if you want a little girly-esque moment. You could do purples. I mean, honestly, whenever I bought this palette, well, before I bought it, I was having an inner battle. One, I wanted to make sure that there was some kind of shade where I could get everyday looks. Two, I do not want to buy a palette where I look at it and I don't feel inspired. I need to have multiple looks in mind before I buy a palette. I don't want to just feel pressured based off of like the hype of the palette being launched, because it will be old news before you even know it. So whenever I buy palettes now, I want to make sure I have lots of looks in mind before going forward with the purchase. It doesn't matter if it takes me a week, 2 months, 6 months before I buy a palette. I don't want to impulse buy anymore, and I'm so happy that I waited, and it just makes me treasure this even more. I know it's like new-ish, but for me it was really hard to skip on it at launch because I was so scared it was going to sell out. But you know, I was like, it's just a palette. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And a few days later, I went to the website and it was still available, so I was super excited. It was meant to be. And let me just say about the color story, I adore the pinks and the maroon, like this dark plum with the blacks. And this black, the sparkles in here, it's really strong. You could definitely pack it on and see that punch. And I cannot wait to see, like, I want to do these two. I want to do this deep shade with the hot, or like the super bubblegum pink, just like an all matte look. I cannot wait to do that. That's going to be my next look. And then tomorrow, because I'm filming this super late, I'm going to just go in with these two tomorrow, technically today. But yeah, I cannot believe that, like, how much I love this color story, so I'm super pumped for that. Another reason why I got this palette, I forgot to mention earlier, I have been trying to find the Vampire Diaries collaboration with Lottie London, is it? I can't find it. And then it was kind of like pink and purple vibes. And then when I saw this, I was like, yes, I'm super excited because I was craving this color story. How funny is that? So I'm super excited that I ended up getting it because this color story is something I felt like I was missing in my collection. I needed a super vampy palette because I love all the like vampire shows. I also saw a few pictures of the palette that looked a little bit lackluster. So that was another reason why I was kind of going back and forth, like, do I need it? Is it, I don't know, is it bold, vibrant, or is it more like subdued, toned down? And I just wanted to say, once I got it in person, it's super like bold, poppin', beautiful, lots of pigment, very saturated and lovely, buildable, or you could like really tone it down. So that is something I wanted to note because I was seeing some pictures like super bold and then some like were just a little off. So I just wanted to be the one to say, yes, it's beautiful. Now the price point, I will say that I feel like it was a little bit more expensive than I initially thought it was going to be. But maybe I'm just making that up. I feel like it was a little pricey. I don't know. Who knows? I just wanted to say that I don't need to see multi-chromes, you know, in every palette. I feel like Cosmic Brushes, they know what they're doing, and I just hope they stick to it versus putting in lots of multi-chromes and making that price point jump up, because they have such an amazing formulation, beautiful color stories without having to do multi-chromes. So I just love the affordability within the brand. So hopefully they stay on the lower end versus, you know, kind of jumping up with all the other indie brands. So I really do cherish this brand. I love the two palettes that I have, and I cannot wait to just use them and love them. Let me know down below, are you buying this one? Is it on your wish list? Are you duping it in your collection? I know a lot of y'all will kind of shop your stash and dupe out palettes, and that is so nice and inspiring. But yeah, I would love to hear down below, what's your take on the palette, the color story? Even if you're shopping your stash, let me know down below. What did you think? Because a lot of you, I wasn't going to film this video, but I had a few of you reach out and just say, like, please, I want to hear your thoughts, see the look you create, all of the things. But that's going to do it for today's video, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.